A petition has been delivered to the Clerk for presentation.
The petition of Sean and Cody Roberts requesting that the House of Representatives note that 31,250 people have signed a petition calling for foreign drivers to be required to sit a driving test before driving in New Zealand.
That petition stands referred to a select committee allocated by the Clerk. Ministers have delivered papers.
Statements of intent from Ag Research, the Civil Aviation Authority, the Education Review Office, the Geological and Nuclear Sciences Limited, the Institute of Environmental Science and Research Limited, Landcare Research, Land Information New Zealand, Maritime New Zealand, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade, the Ministry of Primary Industries, New Zealand Forest Research Institute Limited, the New Zealand Police, Plant and Food Research Limited and the Serious Fraud Office. Statements of intent and statements of performance expectations from the Government Superannuation Fund Authority, the Guardians of New Zealand Superannuation Fund, the Human Rights Commission, the Independent Police Conduct Authority, the Office of the Film and Literature Classification, the Privacy Commissioner, the Public Trust, the Serious Fraud Office, Standards New Zealand, Tourism New Zealand and the Transport Accident Investigation Commission. Report on the activities of the Intelligence and Security Committee in 2014, Government response to the report of the Regulations Review Committee on a complaint regarding the Canterbury Earthquake Building Act Order 2011, report of the Raurimu VC and 28th Maori Battalion Memorial Scholarship Fund Board for the year ended 31 December 2013.
I hereby present a report of the Auditor-General entitled Public Entities Progress in Implementing the Auditor-General's Recommendations 2014. Those papers are published under the authority of the House. Select Committee reports have been delivered for presentation.
Report of the Education and Science Committee on the Education Amendment Bill No. 2. Reports of the Health Committee on briefings on the English language proficiency tests in reference to non-English speaking health professionals seeking registration in New Zealand, and a report from the Controller and Auditor General, Regional Services Planning in the Health Sector, reports of the Primary Production Committee on a briefing on the future of Maori agribusiness and a briefing on the regulation of the whitebait industry on the West Coast, reports of the Privileges Committee on the question of privilege concerning the agreements for policing, execution of search warrants and collection and retention of information by the NZSIS, and on the question of privilege regarding the use of intrusive powers within the parliamentary precinct. Reports of the Regulations Review Committee on a briefing on regulation-making powers that authorise transitional regulations to override primary legislation, and on an inquiry into oversight of disallowable instruments that are not legislative instruments. Report of the Standing Orders Committee on the review of Standing Orders 2014. Report of the Transport and Industrial Relations Committee on the report from the Controller and Auditor General, Immigration New Zealand, supporting new migrants to settle and work.
The bill is set down for second reading. The reports on the Auditors General's reports, the reports on the briefings, the reports on the Regulations Review Committee and the report on the review of standing orders are set down for consideration. The Clerk has been informed of the introduction of a bill.
Standards and Accreditation Bill, introduction.
That bill is set down for first reading. The House comes to questions for oral answer. Question number 1 in the name of the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Mr. Speaker, this question is to the Prime Minister and asks, does he stand by his statement, and I